County participate and they pay their costs, I believe Androscoggin should do the same.
Thank you. So I would have to concur. I think that they're a really important factor for all of Androscoggin County. Solid waste was one we didn't discuss. Small business loans that they help with throughout the whole county. I think it's really important that we advocate for them to have this small funding. 7,750, I think is what it is not a lot of money for a big service that they provide. Thank you.
Sorry, Robert?
Is anyone from AvCog here besides yourself?
So I did talk with Amy. Amy did ask if she should be here. I said, I would, because we had so many different meeting nights, I did tell her I would represent AvCog tonight.
So the only question I have is, there's no money expended in 2022. Is that timing? Is that?
It's timing, yeah.
Just timing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would fully support them. To say, because we didn't get salt, we don't need them is just so short-sighted. I can't stress enough how, it's like saying none of the commissioners use 911, so we shouldn't pay for 911. It's a county service, and they help. I don't know if the county buys any of the fuel through the discounts that AvCog creates.
I believe the county's doing that through the city of Lewiston, so.
I find it short-sighted.
And for the town of Minot, I mean, we rely on them heavily. We have a small knowledge base for like our planning boards, and we utilize their services every single meeting. Not only do we, we pay them through the town, but we even have a special budget because we even sort of contract with them over and above because our knowledge base is small. We can't get by without them. So I would like to see that the county pays their portion of their services. I also fear that if they don't, then all of our smaller towns, those will go up. So we're going to pay for it one way or the other in regards to it. So I would like to see it stay in the budget.
Yeah, go ahead.
In the paper, big headline, all they do, everything is done. Kind of quiet, no kind of scenes, they do what needs to be done. They're not out there for the glory. I've never seen one.
So Larry, we're talking about AvCog, which you had the presentation, I believe, when you were here last. And so individuals have gone around the room and expressed either their reasons for funding or not funding AvCog. Did you have any questions related to AvCog, Larry?
No, I'm familiar with what they do.
Yeah.
I think they're a viable interest to the cities.
Thank you. Thanks for coming, Larry. Sorry for any email mix-up. Any more discussions regarding AvCog? Is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we accept $1,979.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Lisa. Any further discussion?
Point of clarification, is it a motion to accept or is it a motion to recommend back to the commissioners?
I believe that I guess I interpreted it wrong, but your motion, Larry, would be to add back to the commissioner's budget the $7,790.
I just want to make sure it's worded right.
$750. Yeah. No, thanks for the clarification, Robert. Lisa, you're good with that second? Yeah.
All right.
All those in all right. That will go to moving on.
Is it just reconsider?
be for commissioners to reconsider.
I'd like to make the motion that additional
So the
requested, yeah. 1,100.
Is there a second?
County, what heavily need in our community to encourage to
Thank you. No further discussion. All those in favor? Right. The motion carries with 11-0. Next line item that was tabled on October 5th is line item 2035, the soil conservation. Is there a motion?
I would like to make a motion to add $14,000 back into the budget.
I'll second that. Sorry.
All right, there's a motion and a second. Any discussion regarding this?
In Poland, we use their services a great deal. We're having problems with an algae bloom in one of our big lakes, and we're going to be needing their services as we deal with that, and our lake associations deal with that.
Great. All right, seeing no other discussion, all those in favor? Motion carries. 11-0. Line item 9100, deeds regarding transfer tax revenue, tabled at the October 5th meeting. Therese, can you help us on which one? There's several. Oh, no, there's one, 9100, real estate tax transfer?
Yep, and it was mentioned to add 5,000.
Correct. Yeah, I was trying to find my notes. My recommendation was looking at their year-to-date revenues. They've already surpassed what they're looking for. And I had suggested that adding an additional 5,000 into that revenue line would help offset some of the items that we just added back in.
So that's your motion, Lisa?
Yes, it is.
Thank
So
you.
my motion is to, for 9,100, is that the right line?
Yes.
To increase that to $225,000.
Is there thank you, Larry. Any discussion? Clarice, any concerns with that?
I spoke with the Registry of Deeds, and she said it made her nervous, but she would do her best and
Great.
carry on, yeah.
No more discussion? All those in favor? All right, motion carries. 11-0. Line item 9125, probate fees, table from the October 5th meeting.
And this again is, I would like to make a motion to increase that line item from 165 to 170, based on their year-to-date having already exceeded 170.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? All right, motion carries 11-0. All right, line item 1020, Commissioners, table from the October 5th meeting. Currently, the county commissioner's budget is $204,742.
Robert, I believe that, or I think it was you that wanted to decrease the professional fees, the legal down from 8,000 to 5. If I remember correctly. Not here. If that's, my math is correct, I believe the motion would be that reduce the professional fees to $5,000, making their total budget $201,742.
Second.
All right, we have a first, we have a second, a motion and a second, rather. Any discussion regarding the county commissioner's budget? Any other changes? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion carries. Again, real quick. Which line, which item were you here for? It's okay, I just wanted to make sure I told you. Okay, so that was,
You got it.
Yeah, we've put it,
that was put
well,
back
we've
in.
put it back in.
We're asking the commissioners to put it back into the budget. Right. As requested.
Pardon my ignorance, but it goes back to the commissioners. When is the final budget voted on?
There'll be a public hearing on the 9th.
9th, and then the Wednesday after that, which is 16th, is the
Okay,
final.
so that's when I saw that. Okay. I just wanted to see if there are any changes.
Yep. All right,
Wonderful.
great, you're welcome. All right. Next is revenues table from the October 19th meeting. Therese, is this all the 9,000 accounts? Or was just the total revenue?
I think it just, well,
I feel like we did all the others individually,
yeah,
but,
the dispatch, you tabled dispatch
Right.
services.
yeah, that's coming up in a bit.
Yep. And the reserves, I mean, they'll all be addressed individually on the agenda anyways, but
So why don't we take them right in order? Does that make sense? All right,
Whichever
so budget line item 9,000 estimated surplus. Current request is $300,000, an increase of $100,000 from the previous year. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second? Thanks, Gordon. So let's have discussion. Lisa?
Thank you. I have a question. Now, does that mean we're adding in this money to the sort of undesignated, or is this something else?
this is what we're going to be using from the fund balance.
Okay.
So it's kind of the reserve. Some people call it reserve.
And you're adding that back in or using that to
We're-
decrease the overall taxes?
Right.
Right,
Okay,
we're using,
thanks.
right.
I always get
right.
confused on.
Yeah.
Is this like an overlay?
Yes,
No, it's just using reserves to help reduce the taxes.
Therese, I'll ask, could that be increased?
Well, that right there brings me down to 700,000 fund balance.
That is a percentage of the total budget.
The-
Or how many days working capital is that? I mean, a lot of times in municipal budgeting, we're looking at,
Right.
you want that surplus to be about 60
I had
days.
that information the first meeting, I didn't bring it today. We should have probably close to 3 million in our fund balance, based on our operating expenses.
At $17 million, I think it's 20%, correct, in the fund balance policy?
that's
So it would be
the
3 million,
policy.
something change.
That's 70 days. So plenty. Probably more than plenty. Yes.
There's currently a motion, a second to
Discussion.
move forward with a 300,000. Go ahead.
That was 725 that what you just said for the number 725,000 is what you said you have for 70 days?
She's saying there's $3 million in the reserve on a $17 million budget, which is about 20%.
Right.
20% of 365 days is 70 days.
That's what we
Just-
should have.
Most,
Yeah.
Didn't say there's 3 million, there's
Right.
That's what we should have. This will bring us down to 700,000.
That's what I
oh,
was questioning.
Yeah.
that makes more sense. I'm thinking, 3 million is a pretty big fund to be sitting
Yeah,
on.
no, I wish.
So you're really looking at only about 20 days.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Okay, motion carries. 11-0. Revenue line item 9,000, transfer, oh, I'm sorry, no. Yeah, transfer county reserve. Your motion. This is the 114,736.
So moved.
Thank you, Robert. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Lisa. Is there discussion? Clarice, I think I saw this in your fund balance sheet,
The
right?
reserves,
The
yeah.
reserve transfer.
Yep, this is what's remaining out of our general county reserve besides the fund balance. It cleans it right out. It's
So
to
there's-
reduce taxes.
There's nothing more to grab. This is exactly
it.
the amount.
That's it.
So, yeah.
Why is it not 7?
Because they're two different things. One of them is the fund balance, and the county reserve was set aside as a reserve. That's,
These are the funds remaining after the 2021 audit, correct?
right.
Fund balance is a forever balance. Reserves are specific usually to a certain year.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carried. Clarice, just because we're on reserves, I'm thinking I'm going to take this out of order, but let's just go right to line item 9345, dispatch services revenue, table from the October 19th meeting. Clarice, before we entertain a motion, I had asked for you to see what year of the two-year agreements are we in?
Yep, they are one-year agreements. The 11 that I looked at, 9 of them they've all been signed. They've all been committed. 9 of them are January to December 2023, and 2 of them are July 23 to June 24. So there's nothing we can change on them for 2023. They've all been signed and sealed and.
So why are those signed before the budget's even determined?
It's the rate the commissioners set. That whole process was established long before me, so I can't tell you.
I think this is a debate that I continue to bring up each meeting for the, however long I've been sitting on this budget committee. But I think it's,
So I do have it on the list to go in front of the commissioners before 2024 budget, to relook at before they send the 2024 out for the other 9. But,
But that would happen again, we'd be in the same place next year.
well, hopefully it would happen before the next budget
That's what I'm
committee
saying,
for
though, if it's already
2024.
happened, it comes to us, it's already a done deal. Just like today.
I would still, I've been trying to avoid making any motions as chair, but I'm going to make a motion. I'll make a motion that the commissioners reconsider the dispatch services revenue line item for a total increase of 14.73% over the 2022 revenue. Larry?
Do you have a dollar figure?
I don't. My notes only said 14.73, but I can, somebody wants to pull out their calculator.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
My reasoning for this is that I feel the commissioners need to increase the base. Even though their rates might be set at, and increasing the rates rather, I think the base needs to have an increase. When we see a total increase of 14.73% increase, however, our revenue that we receive from communities is only at 4%. It's not capturing. We will continue to not meet the demand of those services, which are increasing communication budgets are increasing at a high rate. And those costs should be passed along. Right.
If I did the math correctly, it was 280,461, 14% increase would be $39,844, with a total of 324,445 being that final figure, if my math is accurate.
Can you give me the total amount again?
Yep, 324,445.
Was that 14% of the 14 point?
I did 0.14 at 284,601.
So you were 14 what?
0.73.
Oh, I kept it at 14.
That's all right.
That's a big number.
I would be fine with that.
So do you want a motion for that number?
Well, I'll go ahead and amend my motion to that number.
Okay.
If Larry, you second, you're all set with that?
Robert's
Therese, you have
following
the-
up on my math to make sure
You
I'm
have the number?
correct.
Yeah, I've got 326.5 would be
The-
the 14.7.
Okay.
So I would go there.
326.5.
And before we vote, may I ask, so Clarice, you said you made the suggestion that they look at this before next year, right? Right,
They always-
can we add that as part of our suggestion, that they really take that as a serious recommendation from us, that this needs to be, so that we're not in the same situation, even though we are giving a suggestion to raise it?
I think we pass that on to Clarice, but
Okay.
I think our responsibility is just on the line items, either 11-0 or move something forward before the commissioners. That's my interpretation, Linda. It doesn't mean it's right, but that's,
So if the commissioners say you're gonna want this kind of money, they go right in. Really don't have a lot of jurisdiction over that?
It's a done deal. And
yeah,
I kind of wonder if those things should be maybe color-coded or highlighted or asterisk that, good luck on this one because we've already signed the deal.
It would be nice to know how much each town is paying for that service.
I actually wrote it down last night and left it at my Minot budget meeting, because we had a small increase from last year to this year, but it wasn't that big, but again, you move that line item and it moves towards the towns to offset, that difference. We're paying for it one way or the other.
But I'd like to ask them, say, I know we're gonna,
I can get that answer on Minot's really quickly.
Are we allowed to make like a series of recommendations to the commissioner at the end of the process?
regarding,
Anything we're noticing or things like this that come up that we'd like a better process on?
maybe look, so at the meeting on the 9th, Clarice, that's still a meeting where we could make changes if we choose,
Yes,
correct?
normally, as far as I remember I'm fairly new. So this meeting, you make any changes that you want. I go back and I make the changes in the budget. I send it off to the towns, and then next meeting is public hearing, and that's when you make the final vote to send it back off to the commissioner. So you can still make changes after the public hearing.
So Robert, what we could do is look at the charter, because I believe that's where it'll be clear
Yeah.
on what our recommendations could be. Lisa?
I'm just seeing if she's going to respond.
Oh, okay.
I would think that an advisory role would also be advising them to look, but we'll look at the charter.
They have in the past, the budget committees have taken recommendations
Okay. Any further discussion regarding this? All those in favor of the motion? Opposed? All right, 10-1.
9-2.
Oh, I'm sorry, was there a second?
There was 2.
Missed it. Poland?
Poland, yeah.
Thank you. All right. The reserves that was tabled on October, oh, we did that one. Capital projects, 5-year plan.
So
Tabled
you
on
still-
October 19th meeting?
Excuse me, there's still two revenues.
Which ones?
The office equipment reserve, again, that's all that's left in there, and it's kind of cleaning it out.
Make a motion.
22,300.
Make a motion to accept that.
Second.
I see it.
Forward.
Yeah. There's a motion, there's a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? All right, motion carries.
And the other one is the interest income.
What number is that?
That's way on the bottom of the revenues,
Last one.
9775.
Clarice, is there a reason why it was dropped by? I'm assuming that's what you're projecting
Yeah,
for
yeah.
investments.
Just, the ARPA funds are going to be going away. Some of the interest is that. Kind of not sure where the interest rates are going to be going, so.
Given the market volatility, I'd make a motion to accept that reduction.
Second.
Any discussion? Just have one clarifying. So the ARPA funds, the interest on the ARPA is coming into this account?
Yes, we're allowed to use ARPA
Right.
interest for general fund. Yep.
I don't see where we made an adjustment on it because of ARPA. I mean, it was $80,000 at the 2021 budget. I'm not seeing where. And is the 2021, the total it received was 24,336?
Where you're at? What are you looking at?
Well, I think I'm looking at
You're looking at the.
2,000 interest.
That's the, yeah, that's the interest expense, that's not the revenue? Is that where you're
I
at?
might be on the wrong one. Hold on. Is there a tab for this?
No, the revenues are all under the revenue expense tab.
Oh, yes, right, on the second page. Yeah, so again, I don't see any major swings here with having $10 million in ARPA. How much was your, no, actually, it was $20 million in ARPA funds.
Well, it depends on how quickly it was spent, I guess.
It's not spent.
Now, we have about 11,000.
11 million.
11 million, maybe, but.
Got one, this says what, 1.5
And we
million?
transfer it over quarterly, so.
Yeah, I would amend my motion to be maybe a 15,000. I do think, as they spend.
So 15, Robert.
I would do 15.
Lisa, you'll amend that?
If you're okay.
Increase of 15?
Increase.
So it'll be a total of a revenue of $15,000.
Not 10.
Okay, I'm okay.
Any more discussion? All those in favor? Great, motion passes 11-0. Did I miss any others?
Nope, that was it.
All the revenue?
Yep.
So Clarice, what is our responsibility on the capital projects? I believe these were worked into the budget, correct?
Yes, they were.
So this is
Yep.
just us approving the plan?
Yeah. Yeah. And that, you approve that these go into APA and the others are removed, and the very last of the report, I broke it out, I've taken out what was transferred to APA, what was removed for county, and the same for the jail on the last page.
So Clarice, are there any ARPA expenditures showing up in this budget? Or are those all pulled and kept
Those are all
separate?
pulled.
So there's no revenue coming in and there's no expenses coming into
Totally
the
separate.
budget? Okay. I know the sheriff's here. I think I thought I had asked that question at the last meeting regarding his budget, if there was an added position or something that was in here that was being funded by
Yeah,
ARPA.
so that added position is totally funded by APA, and it goes directly into APA. It does not come through
It's
the
not
general.
showing on this account.
Not but this budget. The contract people, there's two of them, that are in this budget now it's called the COPS Fast Grant, which ends in 2023. So that is the grant person that's in there, not APA,
So when does that end in 2023?
and in June.
So is there 6 months of revenue showing?
Not revenue, there's no revenue. They get coded directly to the COPS Fast Grant until June, and then they'll get coded to the 1075
So there's 6 months worth of expenditures for those two positions?
for two people. Yeah.
Go ahead, Linda.
Thank you. On the first page where we have the highlighted in yellow, the windows and the roofing, is that a projected for the future with those ARPA funds, or with the question mark, or what's the story on that?
Yes, that's something we want to do. It's not on the, it's not scheduled for APA yet, but we're hoping to.
And do you think that you'll still have ARPA funds available by 2027? I thought there was a specific
They have
date.
to, they have, well, yeah, they have to be
Used by a certain-
obligated by 2024 and paid for by 2026, so. Yeah, that's just an estimate.
For possible, for possible vote on next year to use that by the
Yes.
2024 end date?
Correct, yeah.
Will that be after the decisions are made this year with what's going to be, the ARPA funds will be used for?
And it will probably be on the list for APA. So far, it hasn't been, I think it's on there, but it hasn't been approved yet. So I'm shifting it to next year.
Okay, does the commissioners have a specific date when they'll be discussing specifically the use of the ARPA funds and how they'll be using it, or is it just as they're going through?
Right now, it's pretty much as things come up until after the budget gets settled, and then they'll start looking at the opera again. There's still some organizations that they haven't approved or disapproved yet.
Right.
And so as soon as the budget is all, we know what's going in there from the budget, then they will take up the opera again.
Okay, thank you.
And are these windows for this building?
Yes, it is.
For clarification, we'll be adopting the plan, but not necessarily any of the expenditures that are on there. That's not what we'll be approving.
It's really just a forecast of what they'd like to do.
Right, correct.
Do you have a motion? Larry?
Second.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Jane. Any more discussion? All those in favor? All right, motion carries 11-0. Those are all the items we had. Is there any other motions or discussions that you'd like to have regarding this before Clarice puts together the budget? We'll have the public hearing on November. More meeting after that? You're good.
Are we here on the night?
Well, yeah.
Unfortunately, I'll be in St. Louis, yeah, in the conference.
So folks, we have not had 11 members other than I think our first meeting, maybe. So if there's any changes, probably then.
Right.
Sorry, Linda, go ahead.
My question was going to be, we'll have the revised paperwork when we come back for the 9th, of
Yeah.
the decisions that we
Yeah.
made. Okay, thank you.
Correct, yep.
And if we reconsider the communications thing that we voted down, can we have a breakdown of what each town is paying and what they would be paying?
The PSAP, the dispatch?
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Thank you.
Great. Seeing nothing further, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you, Larry and Larry. So, all those in favor? Motion carries. Thank you.